This morning have given way to clear skies, but the cold temperatures still remain, and that sets the scene for this East Division clash between the Charlotte 49ers and the Marshall Thundering Herd. Well, as you mentioned, the 75 being honored today with, as you can see, the all-black uniforms. Marshall only breaks out the all-black uniforms on this day, this game, as a look there at Jaquan Yulee, who is wearing number 93, and that's significant because Yulee typically wears number 2, 93 being the number of the late Larry Aaron III, who passed away in the offseason this year tragically. And Mark, it's just really been a tough year for Marshall Athletics.
Well, it really has. You lose two great quarterbacks, Reggie Oliver, Michael Payton. Devin Johnson passes away earlier this week, and talked about Aaron and how they'll honor him here today, and that happened last year right around New Year's. So just brings people together, and you fight for another day, and that's what this day is all about. Marshall football has come a long, long way, Jake Griffith.
Justin Rohrwasser has the ball spotted up. The 49ers will receive to start this half, and the kick is away, and we are underway as Aaron McAllister, the backup running back, will let that one dribble into the end zone. As you mentioned, Mark, only one catch last week for Tyree Brady, the transfer from Miami, as Marcel Williams goes in motion, and they're going to hand off to Anthony Anderson, and Anderson gets across the 40, brought down at the 41-yard line. Anthony Anderson, it's so interesting for Anderson because he's only carried the ball 45 times, but he has 7 touchdowns on the year.
Always been a big fan of this kid, watching him. Green goes to work on third down.
3rd and 4 for Marshall from their own 41-yard line as Green will take the snap in the gun. Drops back and fires one across to the near side to Tyree Brady as he's wrestled out by his opposite number 8, Nafeez Lyon. Lyon's 27th tackle of the year, but Marshall able to move the sticks.
Well, that's a big confidence builder right there. Not that Tyree Brady needs a confidence boost, but anytime you're used to having the type of games he does, and then to only come what Green brings to the table here for this Thundering Herd team.
Green will take the snap, 3-step drop for the freshman, fires across the middle to Tyree Brady, who hauls it in, and he's brought down just shy of the 20 to the 21-yard line. Tackle made there. Looked like Jawan Foggy might have been in coverage.
What a rifled pass this was by Green. Zips that baby in there, and Brady hauls it in.
Again, Marshall gets back to the line quickly. All gas, no brakes is what Tim Cramsey calls it, as Green will take the snap. Steps up in the pocket, now with space to move, and throws it out to the far side at the 19-yard line to Tyree Brady, and a host of white jerseys will bring the senior down.
Looked, and finally found his man.
Looking to set up the bubble screen to Brady as he hauls it in and almost brought down shy of the yard to gain, but moves across, and Marshall will have another first down. Trip split out to the top of the formation for Isaiah Green, who's in the shotgun, takes the snap and looks to his right. Fires one in the flat to Anderson, and he makes the catch and gets inside the 10, close to the 5. Wrestled out at about the 6-yard line for Anthony Anderson.
Again, a nice job, Jake, by Isaiah Green. Looked downfield, didn't see anybody, and here's Anderson right out there, and Anderson did a...
As Justin Rohrwasser now on to kick the field goal. Rohrwasser 8 of 11 on field goal tries this season. Goes to the right hash, and he'll bang that one in through the uprights and good. 39th in the nation in total defense of the Thundering Herd this season. As Clue back in, lines up at the 30 with LeMay behind him. It's going to be an option for Clue, and he's wrestled down. Small loss on the play for Hassan Clue, maybe a yard or less. But the punting unit will come on for Brad Lambert's 49ers, and that Marshall defense, they just got to it before the punch.
Yeah, he had no chance. It may not be that mean that much to him.
Well, he's pinned 7 punts inside the 20-yard line this season. It's pressure coming, and it's blocked. Marshall recovers right before the goal line, and they roll in, but they're going to whirl them down at the 1-yard line. The special teams unit comes up huge for Doc Holliday.
A low snap, Jake, and that set the table for Marshall to get the block. Well, they got in a hurry and nearly a touchdown for the Herb, but a big special teams play.
As he takes the snap, it's a high one, wrestles it down, hands off to Anderson, and Anthony Anderson in for the touchdown.
Well, just like that, Marshall in the lead. Special teams huge. Said maybe that penalty wouldn't be that big of a deal. Well, it turns out to be a big deal because they had to punt it again.
Huge swing for Marshall and for Anthony Anderson, his home. 2.5 to play in this first quarter. Anthony Anderson with the short yardage touchdown. We'll head to break and be back. Well, after the first punt was blown dead, as we were talking about it before we went on air, Marshall was already sniffing around on that one as that kick over, and it's muffed there, and it's still live on the ground, and a hard hit applied.
Wow.
McAllister, nearly a huge gaffe on special teams for Charlotte. Gets it just shy of the 15 to about the 13. We'll look at it again. And just gets stood up by Marquise Couch.
Yeah.
Klue has re-entered for the 49ers as Hassan Klue now goes in motion, and a little trickeration here for the 49ers potentially. Direct snap goes right to the running back. It's an end-around reverse. Klue, nice little moves, but he's going to be brought down by Cobb and Fernandez.
Well, Marshall not fooled on that one, and even somebody as athletic as Klue not going to be able to get out of that trouble already. You see Tyler there was applying the pressure, and that just set it up for Hernandez and company.
Tripp split out to the left of Sheriffs, who also has a running back to his left in shotgun. Fires out to the side, trying to set up the screen action, and that's going to be read well. Marshall was not fooled, and he's brought down.
Well, was Arnold this time, just that little inside pass, going to make the catch and then turn it to the inside, but just way too much traffic there, and Cobb takes him to the turf.
Unique little formation here for Marshall as Green will take the snap and was offset there to the right. Was Anderson, hauls it in, does Marcel Williams, and just gets stuck there. Excuse me, that's Artie Henry, and again, as you referenced, Mark, 2-on-2 violence this time. Ed Roll with the hard hit laying the wood.
Yeah, Artie Henry swinging out to him, and again, had a nice burst of speed there, but then
the visitors from Charlotte, North Carolina. 4 for 5 on the day is Sheriffs as he lines up under the gun, and he'll turn and hand it off to his running back, who runs into a wall there near the line of scrimmage. Not much doing there for the Charlotte running game on that play. Tight end goes in motion. That's Chris Phillips. They'll fake the handoff from Sheriffs, looking to air it out over the middle. It's tipped away. Malik Gant got the fingertip on it and batted it away, and it's incomplete. Malik Gant, so versatile, can be placed anywhere on the field.
Man, Gant's just a great story when it comes to college football. I like how Sheriffs, he stands there in that pocket, stands tall, but see Gant getting...
It's a pretty full backfield for Charlotte now as Klue has it. 2 running backs to either side. Hands off to one of them, and no one was fooled on that for Marshall. Stopped immediately. R.J. Tyler in at tight end. Sheriffs gonna hand off to LeMay, and what a tackle in the backfield from Malik Gant. Who else?
Gant's one of those guys you just cheer for all the time because he's a walk-on guy and has just emerged as one of the top players in the conference, maybe in the country, in terms of just...
Brady at the bottom of the formation now to Green's left. Green looking for Brady now, gonna air it out. Brady comes back, and what a back shoulder fade catch by Tyree Brady.
All right, there is something that Marshall players, coaches, fans have been getting used to the last 2 years. Catches like that. Green wings it, and Brady just great body control.
As the snap good, the hold good, and the kick is up And it's on the way, and it's good for Justin Rohrwasser. Marshall extends their lead to 6 points now over the visiting Charlotte 49ers. Calvin Camp in at running back now moves behind Sheriffs in the formation, and he'll hand directly off to him, and he is stood up. What a hit by Frankie Hernandez, and you hear the oohs and the ahs from around this field.
Well, Hernandez, he's brought those kind of blows to a lot of running backs through the years, and he just snipped that out perfectly.
Of course, Ryan B didn't play the first couple games of the season with an undisclosed injury. Empty set here for Sheriffs. Pressure coming. Sheriffs is going to be brought down. Marquise Couch in on the sack for Marshall.
Well, we saw Couch, B, Hames looking earlier at the sidelines. I think the call was get in there and take that guy down.
Well,
that's all you need. Got up a little high.
I was going to say, yeah, a little close, but
coming back from a football game at East Carolina, and they all died in a plane crash, and you know, just it shaped this community in a way it's really hard to explain unless maybe you've lived here. But as you follow it, it's a story of just hope, and it's a story of just never giving up, and you know, coming back and fighting back, and this program has been alive, and so many great things have happened since that day.
From the movie directly, the quote is, "From the ashes they rose," and of course Marshall honoring two different stories. You have the 75 on one side of the helmet, honoring the 75 that perished. On the other side, the Young Thundering Herd logo as the special walkout as well. Marshall typically has a certain intro video and a certain intro song. This time they come out to a commemorative video, arm in arm, and they've done that for the past couple seasons.
And you see Doc Holliday leading the way there, and many former players were brought back to be a part of that walk here today. And again, it's just something that you just never forget as you watch this and experiencing these young men that have played for Marshall down through the years. They are told about this history, and they understand it, and they embrace it, and they play with a lot of pride each and every day that they put on that Marshall University football uniform, but certainly today.
Well, it starts for the youngsters when they get here relatively soon after they get to campus. Doc Holliday has them watch We Are Marshall, of course, the movie based on the true story of what happened. As you mentioned, Mark, a lot of former players there. Marshall Athletic Director Mike Hamrick in on that. Benny LeMay to his right. And three receivers on the field for the 49ers. Sheriffs will take the snap now, looking to his left as he pumps once. Ty Tyler gets the hit on, ball popped up in the air, and it's going to fall incomplete. Brennan Knox, the freshman, will come in. As Green with three receivers. Pressure coming. Green takes a lick, but able to get it out to Tyree Brady, who hauls in the catch.
Again, great poise there by Green, because coming from the left-hand side, and you almost have to know that a quarterback is sensing it's coming, and well, he got pelted, but he makes that completion to Brady, and it's a first down on first down.
Three wide receivers again is also Levias in now, and Levias will go out to the flat, hands off to Brennan Knox, and Knox takes the first hit and tumbles toward the 50-yard line across the first down. So 2 plays, 2 first downs for Marshall, and I guess that's how you get it going offensively.
Here we go with Brendan Knox gets the call, and you know, he's been waiting for this moment, and now he is the guy. He may be the only healthy guy they have to run the football.
Hand off to Knox again, and this time end over end, gets flipped in the air. Nafiz Lyon takes him down, but a good run there from Knox. That'll set Marshall up with 2nd and 6, a 4-yard run for Knox down to the Charlotte 49.
And he's got good vision. Keeps those eyes looking downfield.
Again, give off to Knox. A tackle there from Lyon again. Nafiz Lyon has just been all over the field today for Charlotte.
Well, they got it going with that completion, and now Marshall in a little turbo mode here.
As Knox will power forward, gets some good blocking from his line, and the patience of Brennan Knox will buy Marshall another first down. Artie Henry III, Willie Johnson split out wide to the bottom of the formation. Look out for Tyree Brady in single coverage. Green looking to throw. Has a man downfield. That's Henry across the middle, and Henry spins out of 1 tackle, now 2, and he'll get gang tackled. Not before Artie Henry gets Marshall another first down and keeps the drive alive. That's Green in the shotgun again. Looking to pass. Fires across the middle, and a nice catch from Artie Henry, and Henry dragged down, but Artie Henry gives Marshall a 1st and goal.
That was a bullet from Isaiah Green and Artie Henry. Tell you what, you had white jerseys there. Just
Green in the shotgun again. 2 wide receivers to the bottom of the formation. He'll hand off to Knox, and Knox charges forward into the end zone for a touchdown. Brendan Knox breaks the deadlock, and Marshall now leads by 6. PAT upcoming, but the youngster Brendan Knox having a great game.
yeah, Brendan Knox called into duty now. You knew he was going to get action today.
Look at it again as a nice handoff from Green, and Knox just slipped under a couple would-be tacklers.
Thank you. What Charlotte will dial up here when they get the football.
As McAllister back deep to return, Rohrwasser will send it away, and McAllister will field it inside the 10. McAllister gets blown up there on the return. Oh my.
Kennard King. Wow.
The hard-hitting safety, Kennard King. My goodness. Sheriffs will take the snap now. Marshall showing blitz, and Finger gets brought down with authority in the backfield. And who else, Mark, but Malik Gant.
Malik Gant just has that 6th sense when it comes to finding ball carriers. And look at that. It's just like
shot out of a can. The Sheriffs will take the snap. Looks, and he's brought down. Ryan B with the sack.
Well, you noted earlier in the game, Jake, that Ryan B missed a couple of games, and you know, when you're a senior, that's the last thing you want to. You want to make up for all the lost time you can, and he just simply.
That might be one of the more unique things about Tim Cramsey's offense is Cramsey calls the plays from down on the sideline as opposed to being up in the box. As Green will throw it across the middle, across his body, and the catch is made by Marcel Williams right at the 45-yard line. His man will go in motion. That's Xavier Gaines, the tight end, converted from quarterback. A snap comes in. Knocks a big hole and tumbles down to the 25-yard line at the 26. And it's another Marshall first down. And this offense, Mark, we talked about it at the half. They need to get going. Well, they're getting going now. Look like a well-oiled machine.
Brendan Knox there, just a nice little.
Of the contest. Snap. Hand off to Knox, has space on the outside, dives forward to the 20.
When it comes to defenders with DeLuca, Gemmel, Alex Highsmith, and Foggy.
Of course, they're all juniors. There's another one. Knox rolls across down past the 10.
Well, they say it a lot with the running backs, Jake. Just he's getting lathered up, and Brendan Knox is getting lathered up. Quick snap here.
Leads the nation in interceptions with 6. Green, play action fake, goal line fade to Brady. And incomplete is what they'll say.
Brady's he's got the ball. I'm telling you. I mean, rarely does that, even if he's going out of bounds, it's not going to be a completed pass because of that. Right. He still has the ball. He has got maybe some of the strongest hands I've ever seen of a receiver.
That'll bring up 4th down if they rule it incomplete. And you know, it's funny, they throw that goal line fade as we get another look at it. And the previous play will be under review. And ooh, I'll tell you what, you see the turf come up there. Be nice to see that other angle on the other side.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass.
And of course, the terminology there is important, Mark. No, not enough video evidence to confirm it, so it just stands. And a 20-yard field goal try as Justin Rohrwasser on to take it. Jackson White, the holder. Snap, kick, and it's up and good for Justin Rohrwasser. Marshall pushes their lead to 10. And now Ringwood goes out in motion to the top of the formation. Ball, did it come out? And no, they're gonna say it stays here with Charlotte. Could have been dangerous though. Ryan B came in. Ryan B just forced his second career fumble last week, looking for his third.
Now, he had a lot of company there with Young and B. Not sometimes how long you have the football, what you do with it.
Green will air it out, able to find Knox, and he pinballs off one tackler and gets brought down. Marshall onto the Charlotte side of the 50, and they're close to moving the sticks.
You know, something they like out of their backs to be able to catch the football, and Knox is showing he can do it as well. And Isaiah Green looks downfield and then whips it out into the flat, and Knox makes the grab and taken down. 3rd and 2.
Marshall will have it 3rd down now as Xavier Gaines goes in motion to the top of the formation. Handoff to Knox, and Knox with space. Knox breaks into the second level at the 20, at the 15, and brought down right near the 10-yard line. Brendan Knox, have a day, young fella.
Now he needed 2 from the 43, but instead takes it to the 12.
Got a whole lot more than 2. A 4-play, 40-yard drive for Marshall. Here comes the 5th, 2nd down and 8 as Gaines goes in motion. Green will take the snap, gonna loft one to the end zone. Obi Obialo comes back to the ball and hauls it in. Touchdown, Marshall. A 10-yard pitch and catch to the Okie State transfer, and Marshall in full control of this one.
Well, Obialo, big-bodied receiver, Jake. 6'3", 213. And a
third quarter, we get one more look at it, and I'll tell you what, Obi Obialo, a really strong wide receiver with another year left for Marshall.
Yeah, he's a big body guy.
Empty backfield for Evan Sheriffs. 5 wide receivers, trip split out to the top. He's looking to pass, and he will go down. And you want to talk about heart, Chase Hancock. We just talked about him, Mark. The club on his left hand, doesn't matter, still bringing the QB down.
And you know, and when you look at what he has on that left hand, you might as well just say he's playing with one arm. When I would go to games with my parents when I was a kid, when I first started loving football, and they had a tendency they would want to leave the game early, and I would get so mad. And I thought, you know what? I need to just start playing this game, and then I don't have to leave early. I'll tell you what, this Marshall defense has been suffocating here as of late against Charlotte.
They really have. We get another look at it again. LeMay, Benny LeMay has had nothing doing in this one. Donye Moody.
Gorgeous setting here for football. Great camera work here today by our crew.
Done an incredible job with the cameras as Green takes the handoff, or excuse me, takes the snap and gets it forward to Knox, and man, Brendan Knox just keeps chugging his legs forward. A gain of 9 on that play. 2nd down and 1 upcoming, and here's another look at it. Man, look at that. They just cannot bring him down. Nope, nope, nope. Sometimes they do like to spell LeMay for McAllister, and Clue will take the snap again. Pocket collapsing on Clue, and Clue is going to go down at the 20-yard line. Marshall a couple minutes away from taking their 2nd straight against the 49ers as Clue. Good look at the sack again. Chase Hancock applying a little bit of pressure, and finally it looked like Frankie Hernandez, the man that just brought him down.
That's one of those plays, Jake, when maybe someone's getting set to play football and they say, so you're sure you want to play quarterback?
Hernandez, 11 total tackles, 1.5 sacks today. As Klug going to scamper out of the pocket, and a shoestring tackle by Ty Tyler. Great game, great broadcast so far here on ESPN Plus. Still a minute 45 left. As Knox breaks into the second level and just nearly shakes that last tackle.
That would have been icing on the cake for him today.
Essentially did everything that they needed to do and still can't pull out the win. They forced the only turnover of the game. Offensively, they were somewhat efficient. This Marshall defense just too strong.
And when Marshall gets to its 6th win, and Charlotte's got 2 more chances to get to that 6th victory of the season.
Marshall, as Mark mentioned, 6-3 on the year. The Thundering Herd are eligible for the postseason.